What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today is April the 25th. Happy Friday, everyone. I want to give you a quick overview of what big money is doing today and everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, we do have one big data point coming out this morning at 9 a.m. and that is the Michigan consumer sentiment. And at the end of the day, over the last 5 reports of this, is all resulted in the market pulling back. So very bad data insinuating inflation. And so right now the forecast is 50.8. So at the end of the day, that one is going to be a big one, and most likely that's what's causing some uncertainty in the pre-market. So Dow is down 0.44, S&P down 0.25, NASDAQ down 0.38, which is rather odd, only because what came out like late last night was this right here. So China's thinking about potentially exempting certain US products from their 125% tariff. So at the end of the day, this should really propel just the pre-market like crazy high, but there's obviously that level of uncertainty because of that one data point. But nonetheless, it does kind of extend a little bit further. So this was posted 1 hour ago. So Trump stated that China's and that they're coming to a deal. And Trump's been saying that a lot. And flip side, while he's been saying that them and China are going to come to a deal, China's saying we haven't even spoken. Like, we're not negotiating. We're not doing anything. So it's rather comical. So I don't know, market's truly believing Trump and that there is a lot of deals coming. So the market's really moving higher, and over the last week this has been a crazy, absolutely like exciting week. But one thing to take note of though, fear and greed index is still continuing to improve. So it moved from the extreme fear category to the fear category, meaning people's appetite for risk is increasing, and that's somewhat apparent based on 1 or 2 stocks that I'm going to be talking on. But getting right to it, SoFi. So SoFi is slightly red now, so just simply piggybacking off of the broader market. They did put out news yesterday. If they do put out news today, it'd be roughly around that 9 a.m. mark. That seems to be their thing that they like to do. But aside from that, there's ultimately 3 trading days, or I guess 2 trading days left before their earnings. So you might see a certain level of FOMO. But aside from that though, 12.84% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 138.35 million shares. Shorts have been doing the smart thing in returning leading into their earnings. And plus, on a larger macro standpoint, like, I think they're just starting to mitigate some risk as well. But as far as right now, with it at $12.31, it is trading between this pivot and this S1. So 12.46 is going to be that next strong target, and then 10.91 is going to be that next strong support. I feel like the pre-market is just kind of tentatively red, but once the market does truly open, then this is where you will see it really move higher based on, again, this news. Because yeah, this is amazing news coming from China's standpoint, because the market's always really moved up because of the Americans kind of reducing various things for tariffs, never from the China side. So this is their first kind of move in the right direction. So yeah, in theory, the market should really move up. So just watch for that 12.46 to be that kind of next strong target. Moving on, Intel. So Intel is getting slaughtered this morning because of their earnings. So their earnings weren't all that great, as you can kind of see. Really bad future guidance. They did lower their revenue as well as earnings per share. So yeah, I think I've stated this in the past. I think Intel's only hope is truly just it being acquired, and this is why we've seen it really move higher over the last little bit, because all of these bumps up right here, even here, were all stemming from kind of rumors about, let's say, like Broadcom, and I think TSM just wanting certain aspects of Intel's business. Nothing's come to fruition. They didn't signal that during the last earnings yesterday. So yeah, I think at this stage, it's definitely it's a large cap, like 93.71 billion, but even over the last 10 years it is down 35.7%. so it's, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people just want to avoid it, because you can pretty much invest in almost any stock that is profitable and have a better return than this. But aside from that, 3.94% of the free floats being shorted works out to be 171 million shares. Even this, I like to analyze what shorts do, and shorts have been really doubling down, as you can kind of see right there. For a large cap such as Intel, you don't see this happen all too often. So shorts are getting very bold, insinuating that they feel and felt going into their earnings that it was going to go down. So again, this is why it's good to analyze what they essentially are doing. But with it at 1991, trading between this S1 and S2, 1840 is going to be a strong support. 2008 is going to be the next strong target, followed by 2280. I don't see that 2280 being touched, but potentially you could see a nice recovery somewhere in between this pivot and this S1, unless the market really hates their earnings. But I can see a recovery. So if you're looking at swing trading or whatever else, then let me know, kind of just take advantage of that. But moving on from here though, ticker is BBAI. It is getting some good volume today, up 2.75%. No news this morning though, so it's just simply piggybacking off of yesterday's news, which went up 7.78%. And again, as I mentioned at the beginning, this is fueling them to really move higher. It is somewhat heavily shorted. On a side note, 15.75% of the free floats being shorted works out to be 44.98 million shares. Despite the price action recently, you don't really see shorts do all that much. So it's been somewhat in the 13 to like 16% range for a while. So anticipate shorts to not really do all that much today, but nonetheless, it is getting a lot of volume and shorts aren't doing anything today. So meaning big money is looking at it today to trade. So as far as some support and resistance points, with it at 301, trading between this pivot and this S1, so 268 is going to be a strong support. I don't see that being touched unless that data point, so the Michigan consumer sentiment, is very negative. But flip side, 375 is going to be the next strong target, and with a momentum play, it could be touched. You never know. But moving on, Google, absolutely amazing kick-ass earnings, massive buybacks that they announced. And so yeah, there's absolutely nothing negative about their earnings in my opinion. So it is up 3.94%. Shorts 0.37%, and this is exactly what you should see, is that shorts returned and didn't really do anything leading into their earnings, insinuating that they felt that it was going to be a beat. With it at 167, trading between these 2 points, so this R1 and the pivot, 161 is going to be a strong support. I don't see that being touched today. And then 171 is going to be the next strong target. I see that most likely a bump up to that point. I don't know if it'll be able to close above it, but nonetheless though, I do see this R1 being touched. So for those of you swing trading, day trading, doing whatever, like that type of stuff, just keep those in mind. Then last but not least, Nvidia. So you had Morgan Stanley recently come out and raise estimates on Nvidia today. But despite that though, I think the broader market's fear for that Michigan data is really kind of slowing it. So Nvidia is pretty much flat this morning, but 0.99% of the free floats being shorted works out to be 231.98 million shares. As you can kind of see right here, shorts have been returning quite a lot, insinuating that they felt a little bit more upside, as I explained. But with it at 106, trading between this pivot and this S1, 111 is going to be the next strong target. I don't see that being touched today. Even in the best of scenarios, it might come close to it, but I don't see it like physically getting above that point. Flip side, 104 is going to be a strong support, which, dependent on the data for today, it could be touched, maybe, but obviously it's a crazy roller coaster. Over the last 5 days, it is up 8.44%. So definitely a lot of good traction. Luckily enough, I did buy. I wish I would have bought more, but I did buy some at that $97 mark, or $96.5. So I'm happy that I did buy, but Wish I would have bought more. I don't think anyone could have predicted exactly how this all turned out over the last couple of trading days, but nonetheless, let me know your thoughts on these stocks, what big money's focusing on. Are you buying or paying attention to any stock today? If so, throw some tickers in the description below. One final thing, pop over to my Discord, completely free. A lot of good people talking about stocks, options, crypto, everything that you ever need in life. So definitely pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.